So this is Acts chapter 10 Bible breakdown, and I wanted to get right into it in a summary. And at Caesarea, there was a man named Cornelius, a centurion in what was known as the Italian regiment. He and all of his family were devout and God-fearing. He gave generously to those in need and prayed to God regularly. But one day, about 3 in the afternoon, he had a vision. And what does Acts chapter 10 mean? You know, this was a great mystery of the ages being revealed to Peter through his vision here in Acts chapter 10. That God would extend salvation to the Gentiles without them needing the first convert by becoming a legal Jew. Read what Paul writes about this mystery of the Messiah to the believers in Ephesus. So, we're really getting into Acts now. It's starting to really get deep, all right? And I wanted to really show you what this vision was really about, okay? And it picks up right where I was leaving off in that summary. He and all of his family were devout and God-fearing. He gave generously to those in need and prayed to God regularly. Well, one day at about 3 in the afternoon, he had a vision. He distinctively saw an angel of God who came to him and said, "Cornelius." Cornelius stared at him in fear. "What is it, Lord?" he asked. The angel answered, "Your prayers and gifts to the poor have come up as a memorial offering before God. Now send men to Joppa to bring back a man named Simon who is called Peter. He is staying with Simon the tanner, whose house is by the sea." When the angel who spoke to him had gone, Cornelius called to 2 of his servants and a devout soldier who was one of his attendants. He told them everything that had happened and sent them to Joppa. Now over here in verse 9, we're looking at Peter's vision. About noon the following day, as they were on their journey and approaching the city, Peter went up on the roof to pray. He became hungry and wanted something to eat, and while the meal was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw heaven opened and something like a large sheet being let down to earth by its 4 corners. It contained all kinds of 4-footed animals, as well as reptiles and birds. Then a voice told him, "Get up, Peter. Kill and eat." "Surely not, Lord," Peter replied. "I have never eaten anything impure or unclean." The voice spoke to him a second time. "Do not call anything impure that God has made clean." This happened 3 times, and immediately the sheet was taken back to heaven. While Peter was wondering about the meaning of the vision, the men sent by Cornelius found out where Simon's house was and stopped at the gate. They called out, asking if Simon, who was known as Peter, was staying there. And while Peter was still thinking about that vision, the Spirit said to him, "Simon, 3 men are looking for you. So get up and go downstairs. Do not hesitate to go with them, for I have sent them." Peter went down and said to the men, "I'm the one you're looking for. Why have you come?" The men replied, "We have come from Cornelius the centurion. He is a righteous and God-fearing man who is respected by all the Jewish people. A holy angel told him to ask you to come to his house so that he could hear what you have to say." Then Peter invited the men into the house to be his guests. The next day, Peter started out with them, and some of the believers from Joppa went along. The following day he arrived in Caesarea. Cornelius was expecting them and had called together his relatives and close friends. As Peter entered the house, Cornelius met them and fell at his feet in reverence. But Peter made him get up. Stand up, he said. I am only a man myself. While talking with him, Peter went inside and found a large gathering of people. He said to them, you are well aware that it is against our law for a Jew to associate with or visit a Gentile. But God has shown me that I should not call anyone impure or unclean. See, I'm going to stop right there. That's where Peter figured out what the vision was. So when I was sent for, I came without raising any objection. May I ask why you sent for me? Cornelius answered, 3 days ago I was in my house praying at this hour. At 3 p.m, suddenly a man with shiny clothes stood before me and said, Cornelius, God has heard your prayer and remembered your gifts to the poor. Send to Joppa for Simon, who is called Peter. He is a guest in the home of Simon the tanner, who lives by the sea. So I sent you immediately, and it was good of you to come. Now we are all here in the presence of God to listen to everything the Lord has commanded you to tell us. Then Peter began to speak. I now realize how true it is that God does not show favoritism, but accepts from every nation the one who fears him and does what is right. You know the message God sent to the people of Israel, announcing the good news of peace through Jesus Christ, who is Lord of all. You know what has happened throughout the province of Judea, beginning in Galilee after the baptism that John preached, how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power. And now he went around doing good and healing all who were under the power of the devil, because God was with him. Now this is really good, because what I'm getting out of this chapter is people listening to God. One of them had a visit from a holy angel and obeyed. Peter had a vision. It wasn't clear at first. But then as the mission took place, he was obedient. He went with the men. He listened to the promptings of the Holy Spirit. He met with all these people, and then the vision became clear. That God is full of surprises, and he shows no favorites. Only to those who obey and do his will, he will be there for them and help them in every aspect of their lives. I find that this chapter is very good because it's about obedience to me. Do you obey God? I do it on a daily. I mean, it's hard to walk in the light, but the Holy Spirit makes it a lot easier than the world did. So if you like this video, please like it. For those of you that are watching it on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel. It helps with it. Also, comment on it. For those on TikTok, please like, share, and comment, and follow for more. We'll see you. This was Acts chapter 10.